Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady, and our first story for today, Angry Freezer Stalker. But before we start, I hope you've already subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. Let's get started. So am I perusing of this and other favorite subreddits to make me feel a little better about working in retail, or at least not alone in dealing with the types of customers we all see. I read a few stories about to be accosted on breaks, so this is my story. Cast, me, lowly cashier, trying to enjoy a day off. AFS, 4'6" old lady, aka Angry Freezer Stalker. M is mom and her brief appearance. This happened a few years ago, but as it's a story I've repeated a few times with coworkers, it's mostly still fresh. I was on a day off, the first one I'd had in 10 days, and doing a bit of grocery shopping with my mom. Rent where we lived was insane, so I lived with her and Dad, and we'd made it around the store, and our last stops were the bakery and dairy. Mom heading to the dairy while I went to the bakery. Now, I'd been working at that particular store for about a year at the time and would pretty well work any shift, including being called in, so I was easily recognized by customers. Mostly it was fine, general friendly conversation, joking about being allowed a day off, typical stuff when you see a regular. In this particular store, bakery, dairy, and frozen foods take up a big chunk of one corner of the store. They'd recently been working in the freezer section, but I hadn't paid much attention as it wasn't my department. It was also only one section and wasn't a huge change. Ice cream had moved from one side to beside frozen dinners, and frozen fruit was now next to frozen veggies. Nothing had been taken out. To my knowledge, nothing was discontinued, just moved from one side of the aisle to the other. I was in the farthest corner of the bakery deciding on a flavor of bagel when I hear this voice. The freezer section has changed. I turn and look, and it's a little old lady, AFS, standing there with a basket and her can, looking at me with this angry look on her face. Me. Pardon? AFS. Getting madder. The freezer section is different. They moved the ice cream. Me. Oh, I didn't realize that. I haven't been over there yet. I know they were working there a few days ago. I grabbed my bagels and bread and headed towards dairy and our shopping buggy. AFS following me. They changed the freezer. Why? Me. I don't know. It probably came from the head office. I realized M wasn't in the dairy aisle anymore, so I set off to find her. AFS, still following me, still getting angry. AFS, I want to know why they changed the freezer. Now I can't find the ice cream. To get to the dairy aisle, you have to walk right through the freezer section. So I looked around and easily spotted the ice cream. Me, oh, they just moved it to the other side. AFS, still following me as I turned down the coffee and tea aisle. But they moved it. Why? I want to know. By now, I had spotted M and was trying to make a not obvious beeline, hoping that this crazy old lady would get the message before I had to start being rude. Me, I'm sorry, but I can't answer that. You can go to customer service, though. They can call a manager for you. As I placed my items in our buggy, she finally seemed to realize I wasn't working that day. She grumbled something and walked away. Now, to save anyone from asking if I was dressed like I was working, at the time we had a very strict dress code. Black dress pants, black shoes, white collared top, and bright red vest. I was wearing a flowery sundress and flip-flops. I think in total, this lady followed me down at least 3 separate aisles, repeatedly saying that the freezer section had changed. Really? I never got that the first 20 times she said it. I had originally thought that she was a regular, but I didn't recognize her, which isn't unusual, and I never saw her after that. What can I say here? With some clever editing and some modifications, this would make a decent creepypasta. And we're moving on to our next story. Lady, I'm about the same height as their freezers. I really don't work here. I'm in a wheelchair, but I'm not paralyzed. This is relevant to the story. I can stand and walk for brief and often painful periods, but mostly I'm in a chair. While I can't drive, I can use cars which aren't kitted out for wheelchairs because I can get myself from the wheelchair to seat, and my chair folds up and fits in the back of most cars. I rely on friends, family, public transportation, and occasionally taxis to get me places to do my shopping. I can get most places by myself, but getting back with shopping proves an issue. Today, I was in my local town at a shop which specializes in frozen foods. It's set out with rows of large freezers and then shelves above those. The tops of the freezers are about level with my shoulders, and I can't reach anything on the shelves. They wear a uniform which is red and black with the shop's name on them. I'm wearing jeans and a blue t-shirt. I've done my shopping when I get a message from the friend who's been my lift into town. Her car's battery is dead. She's had to call her mechanic to come give her a jump start. I realize I probably can't get from the shop to the car park before her mechanic gets there and jump starts it, so I tell her I'll wait in the shop if she could swing around and pick me up from there. The shop is understandably colder than outside, and I have frozen food in my bag. Which is how I came to be sitting in my chair by the exit with my smaller shopping bag next to me, playing on my phone, and waiting for a message to tell me the car's working. Random woman. I need some help here. The staff are doing some kind of large restocking, so there's only someone at the checkouts when there are people to check out. She just came up to the checkout and hadn't been noticed yet. I assume she was talking to one of the staff. Random woman. Louder. Hey, I need to be checked out. Me. Still playing on my phone. Random woman. Stop playing on your phone and start helping me. I look up, and there are approximately 0 staff in sight. Also, she's looking at me. Me. What? Random woman. I don't care if you're on your break. It's unprofessional to just sit there and play on your phone when there's a customer. Me. I don't work here. Gesturing at my chair and my shopping bag. Random woman. Well, why would you be sitting there if you didn't? Do your effing job. Me. I don't effing work here, and I'm in a wheelchair. I don't think they'd hire me when I can't reach the effing shelves. At that moment, my phone goes. The car's working again, my friend is on her way, and I'm thinking a variety of gods I don't believe in for an excuse to leave this stupid woman. My little bag goes in my lap, my brakes go off, and I turn to leave. She then storms over and grabs my handles. Rule number 1 of dealing with people in wheelchairs: don't touch the chair. If it's life or death, or if they've asked you to push them, that's okay. Otherwise, don't touch my effing chair, especially not when I've been shopping and my bigger shopping bag is hanging between the handles, so my balance is a little different. I slam my brakes back on, and there's some awkward squeaking between my tires and the floor. Random woman. You're not leaving until you do your job. This commotion has thankfully attracted someone who actually does work there. Staff member. Are these yours? Do you still want them? Random woman has left her items on the checkout to come and assault me. Me. Look, someone who actually works here. Now you can F off. Random woman. I want to see a manager. I want her, gesturing at me, fired. Staff member. Poor kid was probably trying to articulate that they probably couldn't hire someone in a wheelchair to stock shelves. She doesn't work here. There's a horn honking from outside, and my friend is there, so I wheel off as fast as I can and left the poor staff member to argue with the crazy random person over whether I was employed or not. Who knows? Maybe I got fired just to placate her. Sorry, no justice boner here. I just want out of there, and I need the ride home too much to make my friend and her poor ailing car wait. I've once read the following. Grabbing someone's wheelchair is like grabbing a part of their body. So that woman can go take a hike down a steep trail for grabbing your chair. And our next story. My 3-year-old students read better than you. I always thought I would be forever a lurker on this sub, but here I am. I've never been mistaken as an employee because I'm usually with other people, or if I'm alone, I have a bright purple bag on my shoulders that screams, I don't work here. Oh, how the turntables. I work at a daycare during my college breaks, and our uniforms are khaki pants and a blue polo like every retail store ever. Now I teach 2- and 3-year-olds, so my days are long and hectic, which means I tend to go immediately home from work. Until last Friday. I had some holiday shopping to do, and I didn't want to run out later, so I took the plunge and went to the store known for khakis and blue polos and/or vests. That was an obvious mistake. So I go in, grab a basket, and start shopping. Navigating the holiday retail madness, I've got some candy, some PJ pants, and a sweater in my basket while I'm standing in the shoe aisle browsing slippers for my mom. Cue the lady with an overflowing cart who I'll refer to as Colossal B-Word, or CB. So, CB flies down the aisle and comes to a screeching halt by my side. I'm blissfully unaware, looking at some fox slippers when I hear a loud, "Excuse me," and a nudge from the cart. I look up, see CB sheepishly smile and say, "Sorry," before scooting out of the way because I think she wants to get through. Where are the Christmas sweaters, she demands, frowning like she just smelled the nastiest fart. I raise an eyebrow before the obvious hits me. I chuckle and shake my head. Sorry, I know I look like I work here, but I don't. I then point to the gigantic logo on my polo, which is a very large bird with the words Flower Schools written around it. Oh, but if that was the end of it, we wouldn't be here, would we? The convo that followed went like this. CB, ugh, lazy kids these days. Just tell me where your Christmas sweaters are. Me, listen, ma'am, I don't work here. I work at Flower Schools. It says so on my shirt. CB, stop lying and just help me. I'm usually very anxious and spineless, but sometimes the angry confrontational a-hole inside me pops out. This was one of those times. Me, look, lady, my 3-year-old students read better than you do. I don't work here. I work at Flower Schools. I'll spell it out for you. Flowerschool's. I spelled it so slowly I could just see the realization hit this lady's face, but oh no, she's not finished. CB, I want to speak to your manager. Me, you'll have to go to my actual job to do that? Have a nice day, ma'am. Maybe you should read more. I grabbed the fox slippers and walked away, feeling slightly triumphant at the fact that I, for once, did not cry while being verbally berated. Well, that was something. Next time, double down and go find a manager with them. It's even better when someone else calls them wrong. And thank you all for watching the video to the end. I'll see you in the next one.